Okay, so let me quickly check whether my mic is working or not. Okay, so 1 second, guys. 1 second. Okay, everything is okay, fine now. Give me 1 second, friends. Okay. Hi friends, welcome to our channel Selenium Tech Automation. So everyone, good afternoon. Okay, so today I'm going to start test automation process or introduction to automation testing, or what is an automation test lifecycle. Along with that, how to set up a framework for test automation project. Okay, so before that, if you are new to this tutorial, so please check out my previous tutorials. So that is Apache POI related tutorial 1 as well as Apache POI tutorial 2. Along with that, I explained about what are all the frameworks we have in our Selenium with Java, like data-driven framework, hybrid framework, keyword-driven framework. So along with those three frameworks, I covered one more topic that is called synchronization concepts in our Selenium using Java. So these three tutorial URLs I am providing the links in the description. Please go through those links if you want. So before starting this tutorial, before starting this tutorial, so what is an automation testing? Okay, what is an automation testing? Can you please, any one of you, what is an automation testing? Okay, so let me write it down here. So before that, let me record this session. Okay, so I am going to introduce about what is automation test lifecycle, what is test automation process, or how to set up a framework for test automation project. So before going to start those three concepts or the same concepts, so let me give you some introduction about automation testing. So here, automation tool. Functional testing, it is not a desktop testing using mobile application. Okay, sorry for that. So introduction about automation testing. So let me take this magnifier here so that you people can see it properly. So what I am going to explain you with each and every line. Okay, so what is our main concept here? Automation test lifecycle or test automation process, or how we can set up automation framework by using of Selenium with Java. Okay, so introduction about automation testing. So here, making test process automated using tools like, we have so many tools in the market such as QTP, Selenium, then it is called an automation testing. Making testing process automated by using of any one of the tools like QTP or Selenium, then it is called as an automation testing. Okay, what is an automation testing? Automation testing making, making test process making testing process automated using tools like QTP, Selenium, QTP and Selenium, then it is called as called as automation testing. Okay, you cleared on this point, right? What it does it mean? Making testing process automated using tools like QTP, Selenium, then it is called as an automation testing. Then it is called as an automation testing. Okay, the first line is, if interviewer asking you about what is an automation testing, means making testing process automated using tools like QTP or Selenium, then it is called as an automation testing. In other words, how we can say, in other words, how we can say, in other words, it is a process of identifying various functionalities in the project which need to be repeatedly tested, then developing and executing the automation programs to check or validate these functionalities. Okay, to check or validate these functionalities. Okay, in other words, how we can tell, it is a process of identifying the identifying the various functionalities in the project which need to be which need to be repeatedly tested, then tested then developing and executing the automation or automated programs. Here programs means test cases. Programs to validate or check these functionalities. Okay, to check these functionalities. Okay, this is called an automation testing. Okay, this is called as an automation testing. So come again, what is an automation testing? Making testing process automated using tools like QTP, Selenium, then it is called as an automation testings. In other words, how we can say, it is a process of identifying the various functionalities in the project which need to be repeatedly tested, then developing and executing the automation or automated programs. Here programs in the sense which is called test cases to validate these functionalities. Is called as an automation testing. Okay, and also we have to make one note here, that is, that is, automation testing is application or applicable is application or applicable is applicable only for maintenance project like banking projects or insurance projects or ERP projects and CRM projects, etc. Okay, before that you have to make one note, that is called automation testing is applicable only for maintenance projects like banking domain projects as well as ERP projects and CRM projects as well as insurance projects, etc. Okay, for these kind of applications or domains we have to applicable this automation testing. So types of testings can be automated. What kind of testing can be automated here? The next point is, what kind of or what types of testing. Okay, or what kind of testing or what types of testings can be automated. Okay, for this one you can say the answer like functional testing we can automate. Okay, functionality testing we can automate. Okay, Along with that, UI testing, it is not possible. User interface testing is not possible. Usability testing is not possible. Security testing is not possible. Load testing is possible. If there is some limited load, we can perform automation on this testing as well. If limited load is there, we can test this load using of automation tool. If limited load is available, we can do it from automation testing as well. Okay, as well as performance testing also we can automate, as well as performance testing also we can automate, as well as performance testing also we can automate. Okay, what kind of testing can be automated, or what types of testing can be automated? Functional testing we can automate, load testing we can automate. Along with that load testing, we can automate performance testing. Performance also we can automate. Okay, performance also we can automate. Here performance in the sense, performance. So I will take one by one. Functional testing with the help of which tools we can do, load testing with the help of which tools we can do, as well as performance testing how we can do with different testing tools. The above types of testing we can automate by using of below tools, okay. The above types of testings we can automate by using of below tools, such as for functional testing. We can use tools like, for functional testing we can use tools like Selenium or QTP or UFT, okay, or RFT or or Neotech as well, or Neotech, or test parser. What it is called? Test parser. Okay, by using of these tools we can do functional testing also. By using of these tools like Selenium, QTP, UFT, RFT, Neotech or test parser, we can use these tools to automate functional testing as well. For performance testing, for performance testing for performance for performance testing for performance testing we can automate, we can automate by using of tools like, by using of tools like JMeter, JMeter or load runner, or load runner or RPT or RPT or RT. I am not sure about that tool. RT I am telling, as well as Neoload. With the help of Neoload, we can automate performance testing also. Along with that, we have suppose if we are doing one automation testing, so if we found any defects, for that purpose we have to use tools like ALM, application lifecycle management, or quality center. Along with that we have one more tool that is called Jira, and one more tool that is called RTM. While automating the test, while doing automation testing, if we found any defects, while doing automation testing, if we found any defects, we can use below tools to report, or to track, or to track or to track the defects. Okay, or to track the defects. What are all the tools? First one is ALM, that is called application life cycle management, or QC. QC means here quality center. Okay, QC means here quality center. And one more tool is Jira. Nowadays every application or every project is using this tool to raise defects while or during testing. phase. During testing phase we can use Jira also. And one more thing is, and one more tool is RTM. Okay, RTM tool we can use to raise a defects while doing testing or while performing testing on a particular application. Okay, okay. And here these are all called as bug report tools. Also we can call it as bug report tools, that is ALM, Jira. And one more few more tools like Montis or Montis tool is there, and also Bugzilla we have, and also Bugzilla also we can use, also we can use to raise defects, okay, or report the bugs, okay, or report the bugs. So by using of these tools we can raise the defects or bugs, okay, to the respective developer. Okay, while doing automation testing, if we found any defects, we can use below tools to report or to track the bugs by using of below tools such as application lifecycle management or quality center, QC, Jira or RTM or Montis and Bugzilla. These tools you can use to raise defects or to report the bugs, okay, or to report the bugs. So now introduction to automation testing process, okay. Introduction to automation testing process. 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 These days automation testing involves using an automated tool to execute the test cases. Automation testing is a step-by-step process in which the automation tool execute test suites in successive development life cycles, okay. Automation testing process where the automation testing involves using an automated tool to execute the test cases, okay, where to execute our automated test cases. Automation testing is a step-by-step process in which the automation tool executes the test suites in successive development life cycles or phases, okay, in life cycle or phases. In life cycle or phases, this is called introduction to automation testing process. So I can remove these lines, okay, I can remove these lines. That is called introduction to automation testing process, okay, because I already told you about introduction about automation testing, okay. This line and introduction to automation testing process both are same only, okay. Here I will cover automation testing process. What is automation test process? What is automation test process? Okay, what is automation test process or automation automation testing life cycle, that is ATLC, okay. What is automation test process or automation test life cycle, that is ATLC. So here we have to remember or we have to focus on mainly few characteristics we have. Those are called as feasibility analysis. Okay, this is the first phase before we are going to start automation test life cycle. That is called, first one is feasibility analysis. Under feasibility analysis we have 3 points to remember. The first point is checking for the feasibility analysis, okay, checking for the feasibility automation. Under feasibility analysis we have to remember 3 points. The first one is check feasibility of automation, check feasibility of automation. And feasibility of automation means on which areas we can do automation or what areas we can perform our automation testing, whether it is possible or not for a particular scenario or for a particular application, based upon the positive and negative feedbacks of that application after going through the specified documents where we are going through, like taking that walkthrough sessions, okay, KT sessions. So during this phase we have to check for that feasibility, whether we can automate or not and the particular application or particular scenario, so that will comes under check feasibility of automation. So along with that, here we need to remember the second point as what modules can be tested on, which cannot be automated or which cannot be tested. Okay, what modules can be or tested automated or tested, and what modules can't be automated or tested. Okay, these 2 points, and the third point is what test should be automate and how to automate. What test should be automate and how to automate. What tests should be automate and what tests should not be automated. Okay, under feasibility analysis we have to concentrate on three areas. The first one is check feasibility of automation, and what modules can be automated or tested, and what modules can't be automated or tested, and what tests should be automated and what tests should not be automated. We have to focus on these 3 points while doing feasibility analysis. This is about feasibility analysis phase. Okay, this is about feasibility analysis phase. Okay, this is about feasibility analysis phase. So after analyzing, we have to select some tool selection process was there. So before going to using or before going to implement this feasibility analysis, we have to take one tool, so where we can automate our application or our test cases for a particular scenario or in a particular project. So for that tool selection process, so we have few tools in the market. Those are called Selenium and QTP. Selenium and QTP. QTP. Okay, Selenium and QTP means suitable tool selection process for automation. Suitable tool selection for automation. Okay, suitable tool selection for tool selection process for automation. Before going to test any application, we have to use one suitable tool where we can automate by using of that tools. Those are called as Selenium and QTP. Okay, Selenium and QTP. So here I can make some differentiation between Selenium and QTP. Differences or comparison. Okay, or I can make it as comparison between Selenium and QTP. The first one I can take it here as Selenium. Okay, Selenium I can describe it about during this difference phase. The first one is Selenium is a open source tool. Which means anyone or everyone can use this tool inside their automation process. It is a open source tool first of all. And the second point is and comes under Selenium differentiation is here is the second point is it is a open source tool, and also Selenium can support multiple browsers where we can test our application on different browsers. Okay, Selenium can support multiple browsers such as what are all the browsers we have? Edge browser, Chrome browser, Firefox browser, Gecko driver or Edge driver, both are same, and Internet Explorer browsers, etc. Safari also we can make here. Okay, Safari also we can make some note here. So Selenium, with the help of Selenium, we can run our scripts on different browsers such as or multiple browsers such as Edge browser, Chrome browser, Firefox browser, Internet Explorer browser, as well as Safari browser, etc. And also what kind of applications we can able to test in Selenium tool. By using of Selenium tool, by using of Selenium tool, by using of Selenium tool, we can automate applications like web applications, as well as mobile applications, these two applications we can automate or we can test with the help of Selenium. Those are called web applications and also mobile applications as well. Okay, mobile applications as well. And the fourth point is how we can, like suppose there are more than 500 test cases or more than 5 test cases, so we can group all these tests together and we can run all these tests at a time. That is called suite level execution. So here we can do group testing also, we can group testing or group tests execution. Group of tests we can execute at a time, we can execute at a time at suite level, okay. By using of Selenium we can group of tests we can test at a time, and also group testing means all the tests together we can execute all at a time at suite level. These are all the features of Selenium. With the help of these two tools we can make our selection process before going for automating any application. While doing that testing, so we need these two tools, that is called Selenium and QTP. Here Selenium is a open source tool and it can support multiple browsers such as Edge browser, IE browser, Chrome browser, Firefox browser, okay, Firefox browser, Safari as well, etc. And also by using of Selenium tool we can automate applications like web applications as well as mobile applications. After that we can, by using of Selenium we can make all our tests together to perform some group of tests execution at suite level, that is called suite level execution. And the second one is QTP, and the second one is QTP, and the second one is QTP tool, and the second one is QTP tool, quality test profession. This is a first point is here, this is a licensed version, licensed tool, licensed tool, whereas Selenium is a open source tool. Okay, here the second point is, here we can use only Gecko driver or IE driver, or Mozilla Firefox browsers only we can test with the help of QTP tool. Only we can test, we can test we can test on, okay, we can test on only Gecko driver, sorry, Google Chrome browser as well as Internet Explorer as well as Mozilla Firefox browser only we can test by using of QTP tool. And the third point is we can test only here Windows applications only. With the help we can test, we can automate only web applications, we cannot able to do, okay, we can automate only web applications using QTP tool. Using QTP tool we can automate only, web applications only we can automate by using of QTP tool. And here also we can automate VB scripts, which means Visual Basic scripts also we can automate, also we can automate using QTP tool. And the last one is fifth point is, and the fifth point is group tests are not possible, group tests are not possible in QTP tool, okay, in QTP tool. So let me revise all these things again. It is saving, okay, no problem. So Selenium, suitable tool selection process we have two tools, those are called Selenium and QTP. First point is Selenium is a open source tool and it can support multiple browsers like Edge browser, Chrome browser, Firefox, Internet Explorer and Safari. Almost all the browsers we can use in Selenium tool, okay. And also by using of Selenium tool we can automate web applications as well as mobile applications. And the fourth point is group testings we can perform at suite level execution. And coming to the QTP, it is a licensed tool, and the browsers where we can test, that is Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox and Internet Explorer browsers only we can test it on. And the third point is we can automate only web applications using QTP tool, and VB scripts also we can automate or we can test using of QTP tool. And the fifth point is group tests are not possible in QTP tool. Okay, group tests are not possible in QTP tool. Okay, group tests are not possible in QTP tool. Guys, please do like and subscribe if you are new to the stream, which means Selenium Tech Automation, so that which helps me a lot to do more videos in upcoming days as well. Okay, this is all about automation test process. On continuation on that one, the next one is, before, see, the first one is we have some feasibility, so where we discussed about what tests we can automate and what tests we cannot to be automated. And the next point is which tool we can use while doing automation, with the help of which tool we can able to automate our scripts, that is called Selenium and QTP. Now we are going to look into, with the help of all these factors, we have to make some framework where we can automate our scripts very easily. Okay, so here the next point is select and develop framework process. Select and develop framework process. Select and develop framework process, that is called select and develop framework process. Here, give me 1 second, guys. Okay, sorry for the delay, guys. So where we are, so after taking all these factors to be consideration, so we have to select a framework and we need to develop one framework for this automation test process. Frameworks process means here we have several frameworks available based upon our requirements, or based upon our client requirements, or based upon our application or project requirements. We have different frameworks in available here, such as first one is data driven framework, data driven, as well as testng, as well as keyword driven, as well as keyword driven, as well as modular driven, as well as hybrid frameworks. Before going to start with all these factors, before going to start our automation test process, we have to select all these, and we need to develop one framework where we can automate our scripts very easily in a defined way, in a good way. Okay, the first one is data driven framework, testng framework, keyword driven, as well as modular driven and hybrid frameworks. These frameworks can build by ourselves if you want to grow as like automation tester. Here after selecting the kind of framework which one you want, so we need to have some proof of concept, that is called POC, that is called proof of concept. Proof of concept will come into picture under automation test process. What we will do here, where we can demo some piece of code, some piece of code, okay, some piece of code, demo on some piece of code, demo some piece of code, demo on some piece of code where we can execute important scenarios which required in front of the client. Demo on some piece of code where important scenarios needs to be executed in front of the client, okay. What is a proof of concept here? Proof of concept here in the sense demo on some piece of code where important scenarios needs to be executed in front of the client, okay, in front of the client, okay. So first what we discussed here, the first point is what is an automation testing. So what is an automation testing? Along with that, what kind of automation testings we can do, or what types of testings we can perform in automation phase. After that, we have several testing types we can automate. I described here in a desired way. After that, what is an automation test process, or what is an automation test life cycle? During this cycle, we have to consider on below three options. That the first one is feasibility analysis. Once feasibility analysis is done, then we need to select one tool where we can use the tool to automate our scripts such as Selenium and QTP. What is the difference between Selenium and QTP features? After that, what is a proof of concept? That is called demo on some piece of code where the real-time scenarios will be executed in front of the client. And after that, to do all these things, we need to have some roadmap or a framework or some process. So for the during this phase, we have to select any one of the frameworks which are available in nowadays, such as hybrid framework or data driven framework or keyword driven framework or modular driven framework or TestNG framework or page object model. It is not a framework, it is just a designed pattern only, okay. We can consider in real time it is a framework also, okay. That one also done. Now what is the our next step under automation test process or test life cycle? That is called develop analysis, develop analysis, develop analysis, sorry, develop, analyze, develop, analyze and execute the test scripts and execute the test scripts, okay. What we can do in automation test life cycle, the first step is we have to select one tool. The second step is we need to do some feasibility analysis. The third step is we have to develop and select one framework where we can automate our scripts. The fourth one is proof of concepts where we can execute our real-time scenarios or tests in front of the client. The next step is develop, analyze and execute the test scripts. So here also one cycle will be there that I will show you in some Word file document. So let me open one Word file document. So okay, I will show you with the example of I will show you in some Word file for brief explanation about this automation test lifecycle process by giving some phases of that automation, okay. Here you can see, okay. Let me create one new file with the name of automation test lifecycle, okay. Okay, here where we are currently develop, analysis, analyze, develop, analyze and execute the test scripts, okay. Execute the test scripts, analyze, what correct one only, right? Analyze. Okay, analyze and execute the test scripts. So during this phase the first one is feasibility analysis. Feasibility, what we discussed earlier, feasibility analysis, feasibility analysis. Okay, feasibility analysis, feasibility, sorry, feasibility analysis. Okay, the first one is feasibility analysis, and let me insert one shapes. Okay, first one is feasibility analysis, the second one is feasibility analysis, and the first one is feasibility analysis, second one is suitable tool selection criteria, suitable tool selection process. Okay, process, and okay, this is how it will, it is also a kind of life cycle. Okay, automation test life cycle. Okay, it is a suitable tool selection process, and what we are doing here, this is called suitable, sorry, select and development automation framework process. Okay, what I discussed earlier, so those will comes under this phase only. I mean, I am showing in one life cycle format. Okay, 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 first point is feasibility analysis, then the next one is suitable tool selection process. After that we have to select one automation framework, so where we can process or develop our scripts by using of these frameworks, such as keyword driven, hybrid framework, data driven, testing, page object model, and modular driven frameworks. So after this, after selecting the framework, so what we need to do, we have to do, so we can have, one second, once it is done, what will be our next step, that is called figure of concept, I mean proof of concept. Okay, that is called proof of concept, proof of concept, okay, then what is our next step here, the next step is develop, execute and analyze the test scripts. Develop, execute and analyze the test scripts. Okay, develop, analyze and execute the test scripts. Develop, analyze and execute the test scripts. One second, guys. So the next one is develop, analyze and execute test scripts. Okay, and execute test scripts. Okay, after this one, what is our next step? Okay, then after this we have the same. Okay, this is our automation test lifecycle process. So here the steps what I described here, the same you can see here. First what we need to do, first what is that feasibility analysis. Feasibility analysis phase, what we are doing, check feasibility for the automation and what modules we can automate and what modules cannot be automated, and what tests can be automated and what tests are not should be automated. That will comes under feasibility analysis. This is the first one, first phase. So after this one we need to select one tool before going for taking our process, that is automation test process. Before we going to take automation process, we have to, okay, that is called suitable tool selection process. Once it is done, we need to select and development automation framework process, that is called, those are called those are called those are called hybrid framework, data driven framework, test engine framework, page object model, as well as modular driven frameworks. Okay, after this one we need to have proof of concepts where we can execute one scenario in front of the client with by giving a demo on some piece of code. That will comes under proof of concept, that will comes under proof of concept. And the next one is, the fifth phase is develop, analyze and execute the test scripts. This is all about develop, analyze and executing the test scripts. Okay, okay, this is about our cycle, automation test life cycle process is this one. Okay, see here I will explain you again each and everything in a described way. The main objective of this section is, the first one is feasibility analysis. The main objective of this section is to check for feasibility of automation. So the main focus will be and below. Okay, as I told here, what modules can be tested, what modules cannot be tested, and what tests should automate, what sheds should not be automated. Okay, so here also what test should be automated and what test should not be automated. Means I will make some differentiation here. Guys, please do like and subscribe if you are new to this channel, so that which helps me a lot to do more. What test should be automated and what test not should not be automated. Okay, under feasibility analysis, under feasibility analysis under feasibility analysis, as I told, what modules cannot be tested and which modules cannot be tested. Okay, which test cases need to be automated, which test cases need not to be automated. So likewise we can have, likewise the first step is which test cases should be automated, which test cases should be automated, question mark here. And which test case should be automated here, which test case should be automated here, that TCs which are executed repeatedly, TCs which are executed repeatedly, okay, repeatedly, which test cases which are executed repeatedly, The third point is, the second point is, TCs that use multiple data values for the same action we can able to automated. TCs that uses TC that use the multiple multiple data values to test the same functionality, to test the same functionality. Okay, to test the same functionality. And the third one is, and the third point is TCs that need to run for every build. TCs that needs to be run, that needs to be run for every build. Okay, for every build, for every build. And also the fourth point is, the fourth point is regression testing. Regression testings, test cases we can automate. Regression testing, test cases, test cases we can able to automate, we can able to automated, we can able to automated. And the fifth point is, and the fifth point is, and the fifth point is smoke testing or retesting. We can also retesting test cases, retesting thesis we can able to automate, we can able to automated. And the sixth point is, and the sixth point is smoke testing. Smoke testing thesis can be automated, can be automated. Okay, under feasibility analysis, which test cases should be automated? If any interviewer will ask you what kind of test cases we can automate, means you can explain him in this way. Those are called as TCs which are executed repeatedly, TCs that use multiple data values to test the same functionality. Okay, thesis that needs to be run for every build. Regression testing test cases we can able to automated, as well as retesting test cases we can able to automated, as well as smoke testing test case we can able to automated. So these are all the steps you need to tell about which test case can be automated. Okay, now we will see which test cases should not be automated, which test cases should not be automated, which test cases should not should not should not to be automated, should not to be automated. Here, which test cases should not to be automated? For that one, the first point is, the first point is thesis that will be only executed once. The thesis that will only, that will only executed once or one time. Okay, a thesis that will execute only once or one time, we cannot able to automate. Okay, we cannot able to automate. Whenever one functionality changing dynamically, that areas we cannot recommend it to automate. Means the second line is, the second line is wherever, wherever or whenever, whenever the one functionality, the one functionality, the one functionality changing dynamically, changing dynamically, the one functionality that changing dynamically, those areas, those areas or that area we cannot able to, that area we cannot able to, we cannot able to recommend for automation, recommend for automation. Okay, now I am telling about which thesis should not be able to automate. The first point is the thesis that will only execute once or one time. The second point is whenever the functionality changes dynamically, those areas or that area we cannot able to recommend it for automation. And the next line is whenever one functionality need to be completed by manual intervention. Okay, whenever one functionality, whenever one functionality, whenever one functionality need to be complete, need to complete with the help of, with the help of manual intervention, manual intervention, such as manual intervention such as OTPs. Okay, OTP or captcha, or captcha or graphs, we cannot able to automate all these functionalities. Okay, all these functionalities we cannot able to automate. Okay, all these functionalities we cannot able to automate. And the fourth point is, and the fourth point is The TCs that are newly designed are not executed manually at least once. The TCs that are newly designed and not executed manually at least once. Okay, here under feasibility analysis we already discussed why which test cases we can able to automate it and which test cases we are not able to automate. For the first line, which test cases we can able to automate means you need to tell all these lines of points. That is, the first point is TCs which are executed repeatedly, TCs that use multiple data values to retest the same functionality multiple times, the TCs that needs to be run for every build, regression testing test cases we can able to automate, retesting test cases we can able to automate, as well as smoke testing test cases also we can able to do automation or automated. And the second point is which TCs should not be able to automate. Under that second point there will be some subdivision of point A, that is called the TCs that will only executed once or one time, that we cannot automate those test case. Okay, whenever that functionality changing dynamically on those areas or that area, we cannot able to recommend for automation. Okay, whenever one functionality will need to be completed the help of manual intervention such as OTP, captcha, graphs, these without manual intervention we cannot able to automate these kind of test cases. And the next point is the TCs that are newly designed and did not executed manually once, those test cases we cannot able to automate directly. Okay, that test cases we are not able to automate directly. And now coming to suitable tool selection criteria or process, suitable tool selection process, suitable tool selection process, suitable tool selection process. Here, as I told earlier, Selenium or QTP. These days, Selenium is the tool which is recommending by many companies to select as tool selection for their projects. Okay, for their projects. And the next step is proof of concept. As I told, proof of concept POC stands for proof of concept. It is just a demo piece of work in sample words that we have to prove in sample words that we have to prove that what we are doing and what will be outcome of the same. Okay, what we are doing and what will be the outcome for the same. Okay, in front of the client or customer. And the next phase is develop and analyze executing the test scripts. Okay, during this phase we can develop the application code by using of application code by using of different frameworks which are available currently, such as frameworks hybrid, data driven, keyword driven, test ng, p is object model, pom, design pattern, and modular driven frameworks. These frameworks we can use to develop and analyze and executing our scripts. Okay, and these are all about automation test process or automation test lifecycle. As I told, if you see the title of this video, there I covered framework setup for automation project. Let me quickly open Word file so where I can show you framework setup for automation project. Okay, framework setup for automation project. Framework setup for automation project. Okay, framework setup for automation project. What did it mean? Framework setup for automation project. Here the first step is Jira to gathering requirements. Jira is for gathering requirements. Okay, Jira is for gathering requirements. Jira is for gathering requirements. Okay, and the next step is after gathering the requirements, you need to make your test scripts for that one. For based upon the requirements, you need to have some piece of code with the help of Selenium plus Java. For test automation. Before going to start your automation on a particular scenarios, you need to have Selenium plus Java. And the third one is, once if you're done with this one, you need to update your code to some repository that is called GitHub. GitHub automated code to repository. And the third step is GitHub automated code to repository. Sorry for the delay, friends. Sorry for the delay. So where we are currently? Oh yeah. Sorry for the delay, friends. So where we are currently? So I'm explaining about this one, right? Like after making the tool selection, so we need to have our code in some repository. Okay, so that is here GitHub. Okay, so once this is done, GitHub part is done. So now where we need to go, that one is optional. Okay, so once GitHub part is done, so where you need to go your code, so we have to trigger the test execution, that is the phase number 4. That is our fourth phase while setting up the framework for test automation project. Okay, here Jenkins will come. Here Jenkins will come, that this is a continuous integration tool, CI tool, continuous integration tool, to trigger to trigger to trigger test execution, to trigger test execution. Okay, to trigger test execution, to trigger test execution. So once this is done, our tests needs to be built with some different versions. Okay, this is called here test build. The next phase is test build phase, test build phase. Okay, once it is done, this is our final output. Okay, here what we will do in test framework setup for automation project, first you need to gathering the requirements. First we need to gather in the requirements by using tool like Jira. So once if we gather the requirements, we have to select some tool to start our automation process. For that reason we need to take, I am taking here Selenium along with Java for test automation. So once if you done with Selenium Java automation script, so you need to have place your code at some repository, that is called GitHub repository. Once if you place that code in GitHub, so you need to continuously trigger that code at job level or by using of an agent, that is called Jenkins. We can use here to trigger our test execution at continuous by using of continuous integration tool, that is Jenkins. Once this is done, our tests will build along with the results. This is the flow of test framework setup for automation project. Okay, so here I will explain you about what is a framework. What is a framework? A framework is a set of rules and protocols or standards and guidelines that can be followed as a whole so as to influence the benefits of the following provided by the framework. A framework is considered to be a combination of set of protocols, rules, standards and guidelines that can be followed as a whole. Okay, what is a framework here? What is a framework here? Come on, tell me. What is a framework? What is a framework? A framework is a set of rules, protocols. Yes, a framework is a set of rules, protocols, guidelines, guidelines, guidelines that can be followed as a whole, that can be followed as a whole, so to influence the benefits of the following provided by the framework. So to influence to influence to influence the benefits of the following benefits of the following provided by the framework, following provided by the framework. Okay, what is a framework here? A framework is a considered to be a combination of set of rules and protocols, standards and guidelines that can be followed as a whole so as to influence the benefits of the following provided by the framework. Okay, following provided by the framework. Why do we need a framework here? The next question is, why do we need framework? The initial of having standard way of writing scripts in what will develop into a framework. Every company, okay, why do we need a framework? 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 Okay, the initial, every company or team can have different frameworks customized, but the whole idea will be to have a common set of rules. Okay, why do we need a framework? It is a standard way of standard way of writing the scripts, in what will develop into a framework. Scripts in what will develop into a framework. Okay, why do we need a framework? The initial way of having a standard way of writing the scripts in what will develop into a framework. Okay, into a framework. And every company or team every company or team can have different different frameworks customized, different frameworks here, their own customized frameworks. But the whole the whole idea here the but the whole idea here to have a the but the whole idea here to have a common set of rules, okay, common set of rules, okay, common set of rules. Why do we need a framework? It is a standard way of writing the scripts in what will develop into a framework. Every company or team can have different frameworks based upon their requirements. They can customize their framework and they can develop their framework. But the whole idea here to have a common protocols for each and every one. Okay, and the next point is framework architecture. Framework architecture. Framework architecture. So let me open this one. I will show you here only what is a framework architecture. Framework architecture. Okay, framework architecture. Why do we need framework? What is a framework? So all I'm going to show you in separate word file what is a framework architecture looks like. Okay, framework architecture. So next, framework architecture. So let me insert some shapes here so that I will show you some diagrammatic flow of a framework. Okay, first one is this one, shapes, rectangle, color, okay, what is this one? This one is environment. Okay, this is environment. Okay, this is environment. And let me design this one. Okay, Okay, this is environment. This is Selenium WebDriver scripts. Okay, Selenium WebDriver scripts. Okay, Selenium WebDriver scripts. Selenium WebDriver scripts. Selenium WebDriver scripts. Hey, this is Selenium WebDriver scripts. Okay, Selenium WebDriver scripts, and the same here I can add this as a Jenkins part. I will show you here what we learn there. I am just showing in some diagrammatic way. This is Jenkins, and here Tulsi, Tulvi. Okay, here screenshots. I will explain you. Okay, no problem. Screenshots and reports. This one is test results. Okay, this one also done. After this, Tulsi, Tulvi. Okay, this one is test case. Test case. Okay, this is test data. Okay, what is this one? Framework architecture for AMVORK architecture. This is called framework architecture. Okay, go back. So now insert shapes. Okay, and this one Tulsi, this one is for Jenkins. Okay, Tulsi, Tulvi. Okay, this is for this one, this is for this one. I will tell you about all this. Okay, give me some time. See, control V. Okay, this one is this one, and V. This one is this one. Okay, this one, and here object repository, object repository. Okay, this one is fine, object repository, and this is test data, data Excel. Okay, it is fine, right? So here it is how our framework architecture will looks like. So I will just brief about this one. So here you can see this one. First, the execution of the scripts based upon the Selenium WebDriver script. Okay, and it takes URL from the environment folder. The execution scripts, the execution scripts based upon the WebDriver scripts, the execution sorry the execution of the scripts will starts based upon the Selenium WebDriver scripts. Okay, the execution of the scripts will starts based upon the Selenium WebDriver scripts, and it takes from the URL from the environment folder and test cases from test cases folder, environment from the URL from the environment folder, and test cases from the test case folder, and it is giving start execution by using of Selenium WebDriver scripts. Okay, Selenium WebDriver scripts. In the test case folder, all the test cases will be stored, and this test case will take test data from the test data folder, test data folder, test data folder, or object repository folder also. The execution will start from the Selenium WebDriver scripts. These Selenium WebDriver scripts will take the URL from the environment folder and test cases from the test case folder. These test cases will take the inputs from the test data folder, which is having Excel files or CSV files or Word files or text files, as well as from the object repository folder, object repository of the folder. And after it is inheriting all these test cases, test data, and URL from the environment folder, it will, once if it started scripting Selenium WebDriver scripts, scripted test cases will move it to Jenkins, that is Jenkins folder. By using of Jenkins, we are executing the test scripts based upon the times we are executing our scripts on the Jenkins. After completion of execution, the results will be stored in test results folder, and it is containing results as pass or fail, pass or pass or fail. Okay, pass or fail. Result will be stored in results will come as pass or fail. Okay, after completion of execution, results will be stored in test results folder, and it is containing results as pass or fail with the entire test scripts what are having going for execution. What we are given for execution, these test results will stored in a format of pass or fail results. Once for this pass or fail, it will generate some reports. Those reports will store in reports folder. Inside reports will have all the pass reports and fail report test cases. Once Once it generated the reports, if any test scripts will fail, it will automatically generate one screenshot. That screenshots will comes under screenshots folder. Screenshot folder. First, once again I am telling, the execution of the scripts starts based upon the Selenium WebDriver scripts, and it takes from the URL from the environment folder, where environment folder will containing all the URLs, usernames and password, and test cases from the test case folder as an input to the Selenium WebDriver scripts. In test cases folder, test cases will store all the test cases, will take the test data from the test data folder, that is in the format of Excel files or Word files or .txt files or object repository. Once everything is done, then after completion of execution, by using of Jenkins, we are executing our scripts based upon the time or priority. After scripting the test cases based upon the time, we are going to execute our scripts based by using of Jenkins, that is continuous integration tool, depends upon the time and depends upon the test cases scenarios. So once that execution got completed, if the results will be stored in test results folder, how many test cases got passed, how many test cases got failed. Okay, for failed, the test case results which are passed, it will give you the reports under reports folder. It will give you past reports, how many are passed, that we store it in reports folder. How many failed test case was there, that will store it in the same folder, that is reports folder. Once that is done, if any test case got failed, you will get some screenshot along with those failure part. You will get some screenshots that will comes under, that will store into some screenshots folder, This is how a framework architecture looks like. Okay, this is how a framework architecture looks like. So come again. Okay, let me minimize. And stop recording. Okay, you see here, what is a framework architecture, what is an automation test framework architecture. Before that, what is a framework? A framework is considered to be a combination of set of protocols, rules, standards and guidelines that can be followed as a whole so as to influence the benefits of the following provided by the framework. Why we need framework? The initial of having a standard way of writing scripts in what will develop into a framework. The initial way of having a standard way of writing scripts in what will develop into a framework. Okay, the standard way of writing scripts in what will develop into a framework. Every company or team can have different frameworks based upon their requirements or scenarios. They can customize their frameworks and they can build their frameworks, but the whole idea will be to have a common set of rules for the whole team or all over the company. Here, now we can see here the framework architecture. How it will looks like. First, there is a folder called environment, which is following by Selenium WebDriver script. After that, Jenkins. After that, test results folder, reports folder, screenshots folder, along with the input as test case, test data, Excel, object repository. I will tell you briefly about this framework architecture. That is, the execution of the scripts starts based upon the Selenium WebDriver scripts, and it takes URL from the environment folder and test cases from the test case folder as an input. In the test cases folder, all test cases will be stored, and these test cases will take the test data from the test data folder, whereas test data folder containing Excel files, Word files, txt files. Okay, Word files or txt files, Along with the test data folder as an input, we can have one more folder that is called as an object repository. These two folders will provide input to your test cases. Once it is done, by using of Jenkins, we can execute our scripted test cases based upon the time and based upon the scenario and based upon the requirements. With the help of Jenkins, we can able to execute our scripted test cases based upon the time, based upon the environments, based upon the scenarios. We can schedule our jobs by using of continuous integration tool that is called Jenkins. Once the execution got completed, all the results will come and fall in test results folder. Test results folder. What does test results folder will have? Test results will have all the test cases results, which means pass or fail. If any one of the test case got passed or failed, which will comes under the test results folder. What does it reports folder will contain? Suppose there are 5 test cases which got passed and 5 test cases which got failed. The failed test cases will have some reports and will store into some reports folder, that is called reports folder. What does it reports folder will contain? It generates reports. These are stored in reports folder. If any test scripts got failed, it will automatically take some screenshot and then it will store it in some screenshot folder. After execution of your scripts, test results will appear. Test results, the generated test results will store it in test results folder as pass or fail. Once it is done, the the executed scripts will have generate some reports. Those reports will, the how many test cases got failed, those many test cases will generate some reports. Those reports will comes under here. If any one of the test cases got failed, it will take automatically the screenshot. That screenshot will store it into this screenshot folder. This is how the automation framework architecture will looks like. This is a sequential order we have to follow while you are building up your framework. Thanks for watching. For more videos, please do like and subscribe Selenium Tech Automation. Please drop a like for this video. If you like this video, please share this video to everyone so that they will also get the knowledge, which will helps me a lot to do more, which are going to help you. Thanks once again. Thank you. Okay, I hope guys I done with this concept. So the concepts what I covered here, I will just have some quick around the concepts what I covered now. The first concept is what is a testing, I mean what is an automation testing, introduction about automation testing, and what kind of tests we can we automate and what kind of tests we cannot able to automate. Okay, and what are all the characteristics we need to follow by using of automation test lifecycle, or what is an automation test process. Under this what is automation test process or automation test lifecycle, we can have feasibility analysis and suitable tool selection process, and the differences between the Selenium and QTP, and select and develop respective frameworks as per the requirements, like data driven, test engine, keyword driven, modular driven, hybrid frameworks. After that, we have some develop, analyze and execute the test scripts. After this, what is a framework, why do we need a framework, how a framework architecture will looks like. So thanks people, thanks for watching. So I done from my side. If you have any queries, please mention your queries in the comment section so that I will try to clear you on those comments. So, and also drop a like if you are new to this video, and also subscribe to my channel Selenium Tech Automation. If you are new to our channel, please don't forget to share this video so that remaining people also will get some knowledge based upon my video. I hope you people got something for the day. Thank you guys, thanks for watching. Selenium Tech Automation will come up with some other video. Until then, signing off, Selenium Tech Automation. Thank you.